the you have after I started off with a dome, which was actually fairly hard to make, surprisingly, because I had to start off by making a half circle and then another half circle and then a circle around the top of it and then circles diagonal, which was really hard. But in the end, I got it done, and I actually ended up taking out a huge chunk of it because of this basement. The first step that I did was I placed down. The basement was not the first thing that I did. Actually, I think yeah, it was. The basement was the first thing I did. I took off like a huge chunk of it, and then I just put in a bunch of these because those look good as like concrete. Those remind me of concrete, and I just placed those like as a cube because I like the idea of something sticking out. But also, you could use this as a basement as well, or like underground flooring system, whatever you want. But and so yeah, so I did that first, and I did not do a stairway to that yet. I did a stairway, not yes. So usually when you're doing a normal house, you would build like the framing and then the like the windows and then the flooring of one entire floor, and then you work up to the next floor and do framing wood and this. But in this, I just did all of the framing first, then all of the flooring second, and then all of the windows last. Now, there's a reason that I'm not doing the windows up here because I like the idea of you being able to look out and not being limited by the glass and like you could like jump out in case you needed to land it up like a river of water if you really needed to. But I like the idea of not being the windows because I feel like it looks more better. Because that really cross defines it between being a living room and having glass in the window and like a freaking farm and like not having glass. I think it would make logical sense to put glass on it, but I think it looks better without the glass. Anywho, I started off with a stone slab floor and I did not do the carpet. The style that I did first, I just kind of just did a stone thing of what I wanted my shape of the house to look like, and I ended up with this shape, which is a really good shape. It's kind of like a heart, but you took out a chunk on this corner. So yeah, I did a very specific shape, and it looks better when you have a very specific shape. So yeah. And then after I was done with that. I did all the framing, and I did do a tip from a video. I'm not going to mention its name, but you do these kind of things on the corners of all the houses. It gives it a ton of depth to it, and also for all the windows that I used a stairs instead of just a block. I used stairs, and it actually looks really nice. Like it is perfectly flush with the top of that stairs. There's no room in between it, and also because since I do have water here, there is a bunch of drippage, but I actually just incorporated that with the design and made it look cool. But by doing this kind of wooden thing, like in a normal house, this would be 3 blocks high, but instead of doing that, I did like a whole ceiling of just slabs, so you have like about a slab above you when you're inside, and it looks cool from the outside. So I like how that looks. What else was I after that, I did the basic work of the dirt, which is not that hard. I made a giant floor of dirt, and then I put where I wanted the water to be. I put some slabs, and then where those slabs were above, I destroyed that, and then placed the water source blocks, and yeah. So the lanterns were self-explanatory. I just placed them in areas that seem to fit. You can place those wherever you want. Does not matter. Did a little bit of scenery to the outsides, but I did also a couple lanterns that look nice. It looked like they'd be like incorporated in like a village town, which I gotta say this would look awesome in a village town. Like other houses would fit in, but this would look awesome because it already has the path of the stone, which already looks like a concrete like path, and it has not only is it not symmetrical, which gives it this sort of abstract feeling that a sort of town would, and this would look great in a corner of like if you had like a square kind of village, this specific house would look great in the corner. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, I think that's about it. Another thing that I did to add depth was I did bottom stairs, then upside down stairs, and then bottom stairs on the top of those. They kind of add like I don't know. It makes it seem like there's more structure to them. And then the roof was actually a pretty good clutch thing because I did not realize that the roof would actually turn out this well because the roof is always a tricky subject when making houses because you never know how the roof's going to turn out because it's all based around the shape and if you decide to do cutoffs are where if you let's say cutoffs are more for 2-story plus houses. Like in my other house, the one that I think I did a tour in, it had a bunch of cutoffs. Like this one does not have any cutoffs. It's just from the shape from it is below, it immediately goes to the top and then makes the house. But on my other house, what I did was on the first floor, all the shapes were there. The original shape is there. But on the second story, I kind of cut off a side of that and I made that the roof. And then I continued going up and then cutting sides off the roof until I just had like this small area just to make thing. And if you were to look at it from above, it would look normal, but if you were to go from the side, it would make it look so much taller. That's what cutoffs are. I did not use any of those for this because the shape of the ceiling, like by itself, is the same shape of the flooring. So yeah, there's not. That means basically there's not multiple roofs. There's just one roof. And if there was, yeah, I think I've explained it enough. But the really good thing that I liked about this build is the amount of times I switched between blocks. No one likes a house that's just plain wood and like just a wooden block. This gives it a certain depth and actually something to look at when you're going up to this house. Oh my god, this actually looks really cool. You're gonna assume that it's a great house inside. Also one more thing about this flooring. In my other episode that I did this flooring specific style in, I did, instead of using concrete blocks, I used just normal wool, which like, cause I mean it matched the texture of the flooring, so I thought it looks nice, but I'm not sure whether the normal carpet with the concrete or the normal carpet with the wool looks better. So I want you guys to decide that for me, obviously. I cannot decide because the other one I still can't decide. I mean, they both look really nice. They both look like they do this being in the house. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you will like it and use this style a lot. It's one of my favorite styles of building houses, right next to modern. But this sort of comfy, sort of farmhouse thing that has like a farm like on the inside of it looks really cool to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.